Retail sales have suffered the biggest drop since records began, falling by more than 5% last month.
Shares are down in the pre-market, just 2.5%, of course, in a market that's falling itself.
Tight period of time. That obviously creates some pressure on the bottom line, and that creates some overhang for how people think about Walmart. People know prices have gone up, they're experiencing that, and then for some folks, it is painful, and they want lower prices, and that's what we're wired to do.
Walmart, the world's biggest retailer and the undefeated king of American shopping, just admitted something no one ever thought possible. Black Friday is a disaster, and the company is staring straight at potential record losses. The brand that crushed every recession, every competitor, and every economic meltdown is suddenly buckling under empty aisles, weak spending, and a financial squeeze it can't outrun.
Stocks plunged today, and a big reason why is Walmart. Its forecast for upcoming profit fell short of analysts' expectations.
And the most unbelievable part? Walmart's CEO is now quietly warning that their most successful retail empire is under more pressure than at any point in its modern history. And the reasons are explosive.
All right, my friends, Walmart is out of cold produce and they're out of all the stuff over there. So if you need some stuff from Walmart, you might rethink that. Looks like they are also...
You know what really stunned people this year? Walmart didn't just launch one Black Friday event. They unleashed an entire operation starting November 14th. Wave after wave. Early access for Walmart Plus members, online pushes, in-store promotions. They spread Black Friday across half the month to pull in every possible shopper. And guess what? It still didn't work. Foot traffic barely moved. Stores that should have been buzzing during Wave 1 felt slow, and Wave 2 didn't bring the surge Walmart was counting on.
The last jobs report was favorable, but we're still at about 6.9%. So consumers are a little fragile, they're a little cautious in terms of how they're spending right now.
Even with deals starting earlier than ever, the crowds never formed, the aisles never overflowed, and the excitement that normally defines Black Friday just didn't happen. When a 2-week sales offensive can't bring people through the doors of the world's largest retailer, you're not looking at a glitch. You're looking at a system that's breaking in real time.
From last year, down about $14 for the basket, which puts us in a position where this basket is just under $4 a person when serving.
And here's where the real damage hits. Shoppers didn't just skip the stores, they skipped the profitable stuff. Walmart expected Black Friday to revive categories like TVs, laptops, appliances, gaming consoles, the high-margin goods that normally carry the entire holiday quarter. Instead, people showed up only for groceries, basics, and cheap household items. The exact categories Walmart makes the least money on. That shift is brutal because it means Walmart offered weeks of discounts, invested millions in logistics and staffing, and still didn't bring in the purchases that actually generate profit. When your Black Friday wins are in low-margin essentials and your high-margin categories are sitting untouched, that's not just a slow weekend, that's the formula for massive losses. And the moment you dig into Walmart's pricing strategy, the picture gets even worse. Walmart didn't launch Black Friday deals from a position of strength. They were already drowning in excess inventory weeks before the sales even began. That's why they blasted out more than 6,000 rollbacks across the store long before Black Friday officially started. These weren't special offers. They were emergency price cuts. Walmart slashing margins just to move product. But here's the kicker. Even after all those discounts, shoppers still didn't grab enough of the inventory to flip profits back into the green. So now, Walmart is caught in the most dangerous trap in retail, cutting prices deeper and deeper while sales stay flat.
So if you're needing some stuff, you might go to Homeland or something like that, because they said their power went out, so they lost a lot of stuff. They're having to replenish it. And even this, look at this. All these little deals are empty. So if you need some stuff, you might have to go somewhere else until you can figure it out. They have no lunch meat.
But the biggest warning sign came straight from Walmart's own CEO. General merchandise, the backbone of Black Friday, is deflating. Prices on electronics, home goods, toys, appliances, and seasonal items are already 4% cheaper than last year, which means Walmart went into Black Friday with margins already bleeding. And here's the problem. When prices fall but sales don't surge, the company gets hit from both sides. They earn less per item and they sell fewer of them. That's the perfect recipe for a profit collapse. And here's the part people forget. Walmart operates on razor-thin margins, usually under 3%. That means even a tiny drop in spending turns into a massive hit to profit. When prices fall and demand falls at the same time, Walmart doesn't lose a little. It gets crushed instantly.
How cautious is the U.S. shopper? They've been pretty consistent all year. I think people know prices have gone up. They're experiencing that. And then for some folks, it is painful. And they want lower prices. And that's what we're wired to do. I look at this company, I actually started working for Walmart 40 years ago.
Here's the part nobody expected from a giant like Walmart. Even the customers who did shop acted like they were terrified to spend. Walmart's CEO openly said shoppers are cautious, and for many, it's painful to buy anything beyond basics, which is corporate code for people are broke. And when consumers feel that kind of pressure, they don't touch high-margin Black Friday items. They walk right past the TVs and laptops and head straight to eggs, milk, and toilet paper. That shift destroys Walmart's profit math. The company poured millions into staffing, logistics, and early promotions. But instead of big-ticket sales, they got baskets full of $5 of essentials. That's not just disappointing. That's a financial nightmare. When your biggest sales event turns into a bargain bin grocery run, you're not making money. You're losing it faster than you can count it.
This is a quick video of a Walmart. Everything appears to be out of stock. Nothing is left on the shelves at all.
And if you really want to know why Walmart's losses are stacking up, look at the channel nobody talks about: convenience. Walmart keeps bragging that customers love curbside pickup and home delivery. But here's the truth they won't say out loud. Those are the least profitable parts of the business. Every pickup order requires workers, extra handling, packaging, and logistics. Every delivery order eats money through drivers, fuel, routing, and time. So while in-store traffic collapsed, online orders spiked in the exact category that drains profit instead of building it. Walmart spent millions building AI systems, apps, and fulfillment tech to speed up these services. And Black Friday only pushed more shoppers into those low-margin channels, meaning the company worked harder, paid more, delivered more, and made less. That's how a retail giant ends up bleeding cash, even when online numbers look strong.
To make some investments, we invested in wages for our associates, we invested in our people, things like education. We invested in lower prices, we invested in e-commerce, we invested in technology, all within a pretty tight period of time.
But here's the part that really exposes how deep Walmart's financial trouble goes. The company is still drowning in the fallout of its massive tech and wage investments. Over the last few years, Walmart dumped billions into wages, AI systems, e-commerce expansion, automation, new apps, new warehouses, new tech teams, all in a tight window. And the CEO finally admitted those investments created pressure on the bottom line. That's the soft corporate way of saying, we spent a fortune and the payoff isn't here yet. Now combine that with a weak Black Friday, and suddenly Walmart is sitting on the most dangerous equation in retail: sky-high spending with no holiday rebound to cover the bill. The company bet big on its digital transformation, but Black Friday didn't return the cash they needed. Instead of relief, they walked straight into a financial chokehold. That's not just a bad quarter, that's how you slide into record losses.
If we are the importer of record on some things and we pay a tariff, we'll eat as much as we can, but some of that is going to flow through and look like inflation to customers because it is inflation to customers. Here in the US,
Walmart isn't just dealing with a bad Black Friday. It's getting crushed by a global cost storm that's eating its margins alive. Tariffs, shipping spikes, supply chain chaos, rising input prices, everything costs more, but customers can't handle higher prices. So Walmart swallows the bill, cuts prices to survive, and bleeds cash at both ends. And the pandemic hangover makes it worse. Walmart hired too fast, built too big, and spent like the boom would never end. Now the demand is gone, but the payrolls, warehouses, tech teams, and AI costs are still sky high. Black Friday was supposed to save them. Instead, it exposed how deep the financial hole really is. Walmart is paying yesterday's bills with today's weak profits, and that's why even the invincible retail empire is staring down record losses.
Consumer sentiment is a bit fragile this year, and I know I've been saying that for a couple years now, but there are a few unique headwinds that are a little tougher this year. Mostly the uncertainty around the trade dispute with our friends in the South.
And the most unbelievable sign of Walmart's financial stress is this. The company is now depending on markdowns to move products that should have sold themselves. When a CEO admits they had to take timely markdowns, that's retail code for the shelves didn't clear and the discounts weren't optional. Walmart cut prices early, cut them deep, and cut them across entire categories. Yet the sales still didn't spike. That's a nightmare scenario, because every markdown is a direct hit to profit. And when you stack thousands of them across 2 waves of Black Friday sales, the losses multiply fast. Instead of clearing inventory at healthy margins, Walmart is clearing it at a loss, burning cash to stop the pileup. Black Friday didn't just fail to rescue the quarter, it forced Walmart into the most expensive discount cycle they've seen in years. Walmart's most profitable sales categories, apparel and home, are still underperforming. The CEO openly admitted these departments haven't recovered and that the presentation inside stores is dragging them down. That's disastrous in a Black Friday cycle, because these are the exact sections that normally deliver fat margins and holiday profits. But this year, shoppers walked right past clothes, skipped home decor, ignored higher priced items, and Walmart never got the revenue boost these categories are built to deliver. When the departments designed to save your quarter are the ones collapsing, the loss isn't just possible, it's unavoidable. Walmart needed strength in apparel and home. Instead, they got silence and empty racks. And that kind of weakness kills profit faster than any sale ever could.
The biggest challenge so far has turned out to be between our ears, our mindset and the way we think about the business.
Walmart's losses get even easier to understand when you realize the company fell behind its competitors years ago. The CEO admitted their biggest weakness is mindset and speed, which means they moved slow while Amazon, Target, and Costco sprinted ahead, and Black Friday exposed the gap. Inside the company, employees resisted the digital shift. Leadership wasted years debating e-commerce, and by the time Walmart finally adapted, the online battlefield was already owned by its competitors. That cultural lag cost billions, and this Black Friday showed exactly how much. To make matters worse, Walmart's fastest growing segment, its online business, is also its least profitable. Black Friday pushed even more shoppers into e-commerce instead of stores, which means Walmart worked harder, processed more orders, and made less money doing it. The company was counting on a major in-store rebound this year, but the surge never came. Their internal forecasts were far too optimistic, and when reality didn't match the plan, every extra dollar spent on staffing, inventory, and marketing turned into a loss.
Because the customer was telling us very clearly what they wanted. And we've always known when you break down the customer value proposition, the experience we're providing, it's made up of price, assortment, experience, and we think trust.
That's why Walmart is suddenly trying to expand into healthcare and financial services, a move the CEO framed as growth. But the truth is clearer. Core retail isn't profitable enough anymore, and costs are rising everywhere. Tariffs, freight prices, and global supply chain expenses are climbing at the exact moment consumer spending is weakening. It's the worst possible timing for a margin-dependent business. Then, there's shrink, the polite word for theft, which is still skyrocketing and hits its peak during the holiday season. Billions disappear every year through stolen products, and Black Friday amplifies that loss across every store. Add in the fact that Walmart's historic $20 billion buyback couldn't lift the stock at all, and you see why investors believe the company is hiding deeper problems. Walmart warned analysts earlier this year about slowing revenue and falling earnings, but nobody expected the decline to hit this hard. Black Friday didn't just disappoint, it confirmed their worst fears. If you found it as shocking as we did, make sure you subscribe, like and comment why you like this video for a chance to win a new Apple MacBook.